Go Beaver! Away!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Critscast. Tonight we are bringing you some Highlander action straight from UGC. It is, of course, the European scene. We are into week 2 already, onto the map King of the Hill, Lakeside. We're going to be seeing two teams from the east battling out today on this DM-heavy map. One of them is a Premiership team from the most recent season in ETF2L. That is Kiti's Bakenbardami. And they are playing against a much older team, which is UAPlayer, a former finalist of the mid-tier and a former high-tier team in ETF2L. Be interesting to see which of the Russian/Ukrainian mixed teams will be able to come out on top tonight. I am CeeJaey. Joining me is jakeowaty with Wiethoofd on the camera. Jake, how's it going, my man?
I mean, could it be better than to start off the week with some more Highlander? We ended last week on Friday casting the high finals of ETF2L, and now we're starting this week with the UGC Season 23 Derby, like you said before, between the Russian/Ukrainian mixed teams. And obviously, we are going to be coming back to a map that has been kind of long forgotten, which is Lakeside. It's been forgotten in favor of newer map Cove product, much more condensed, more sixes based, but nevertheless, it's still a King of the Hill map. And I'm really glad that UGC has decided to kind of include Lakeside into the map pool again, because it's one of the more interesting maps, in my opinion. It's a lot more open, which obviously is a huge benefit to having a good sniper. However, it is also quite interesting when it comes to the middle point, how the fights always progress over the middle point, you know, being that little hill that you can hide behind, as well as, you know, have to get over it and then in turn be too vulnerable to enemy spam, and obviously the famous bathhouse with the water pool and a huge health pack in the middle of it. It's an interesting map and one of my more favorite Koth maps when it comes to Highlander overall. But like you said, we're gonna be watching today's game. It is only week 2, so no upsets as of yet. Both teams have actually won their previous matches, so they have 1 point each in that aspect. And we'll be looking to edge out 1 more point after today's game and hopefully put themselves higher in the table.
Yeah, UGC ranking is slightly different to ETF2L, whereas, you know, ETF2L, depending on the score of the actual game, depends on how many points you get. But UGC, you're pretty much just ranked by wins. So no matter what the score is, whether it's a 4-0 or a 4-3, you're going to get the win on the board. You're going to chalk that up. So to put things into perspective, UAPlayer won their first game. They absolutely pounded Xenon on the week 1 map. Whereas Kiti, they only won sort of 2-1 on the payload map. You know, they only won 2-1 against arguably a harder team. Doxers of Mediocrity. They were a semi-finalist in the high tier in the most recent ETF2L season. But that does mean they basically have the same win-loss ratio. But UAPlayer are higher in the table by virtue of having a better, you know, rounder difference. But when it comes to the end of the season, it's pretty much, you know, did you win more games than that team? Yes, good, you're higher than them. Whereas in ETF2L, sometimes you can actually, you know, lose a lot of games but still pick up points. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Like, both of these teams are probably still, I would say, relatively warmed up. From playing in ETF2L. Kiti did play in the Premiership season. They did finish bottom. I think they only picked up 4 points from the entire season. They were the runners-up of both the mid-tier in Season 11 and the high tier in Season 12. So they have a bit of a history of finishing runners-up in Grand Finals. And the Premiership season wasn't too fortuitous for them. UAPlayer, though, haven't played as a team in ETF2L since Season 10. They did reach the Grand Finals of the mid-tier back in Season 8. And they played in the high tier Season 9 and Season 10. Again, they reached the mid-playoffs after being relegated. So they haven't been around. And players like Ihor have been playing. You know, they are the kind of the players known for the team. But Ihor has been playing in the Premiership division with the likes of Dickman's Juniors. So these players have probably got a little bit of experience playing in the Premiership tier. But as a unit, they haven't been practicing much together. So whereas Kiti is essentially a team, They are a Premiership team. UAPlayer are more or less a mixed team, and from what we've heard before the game, they are looking for some players to actually play with them. So this is pretty much on paper a mixed team. So I think Kiti are going to go into this game favourites. They were, regardless of roster instability issues, but I do think that UAPlayer are the underdogs coming into this game. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. But hey, Lakeside, like you said, it is a DM map. It's King of the Hill. It's a map that hasn't been played in ETF2L for the past couple of seasons since, you know, the reduction in the size of the division means less maps. So we've only had Product as our solitary King of the Hill maps. But I do like the fact that UGC does keep in Lakeside. I do think it's a fun map. I think the fact that it's so open does give a lot of space for the likes of scouts, snipers, spies, where it's not so friendly on classes like Soldier. They can do well, but they need to be a little bit more creative. It does look like we're getting baited there by a little cheeky ready up, but we are going live. So we're going to have Kitty in the blue and UAPlayer in the red. And Jake, let's tell me what you see during this mid-fight.
Well, we have Jesus 420 on the demo man for the blue side. On the red side, it is going to be Crime, not Bugster. Bugster is actually this time on a Soldier. And they're currently just moving on the point. Red team, I do believe you said it's a UAPlayer. They're going on the point right now. Griba is taking quite a lot of damage there from the enemy heavy. Poker is moving very aggressively far forward. Oh, no. And they're currently going on the point here. Ihor, Jesus, DQZ, and Poker all stacking point. A little bit of control in the bathhouse as well. Marisa is a little bit low on health, taking a few pot shots. Taking out 3 people from the enemy team. Only 4 up for the red at the moment. Aina is trying to find some heads there. Trying to put some pot shots as well. We're getting in the position here. Funske is currently guarding the midpoint, which gives here a huge advantage for the blue team. Obviously, having control of that sniper position there is especially crucial here. Aina is just hard scoping there, looking for some frags here, looking hard, taking a body shot at Vinske, and unfortunately not hitting it. So far, no revolution going on right now. Fairly easy capture here by the blue team. So not much happening at the moment.
I actually have to take back what I said. I do believe it is actually
UA on blue, yeah.
UA on blue and Kitty on red. And the reason I'm so confused is because half of the UA team played for Kitty in ETF2L, so it's a little bit confusing, but I do think UAPlayer have the stronger roster. So I'm going to take back everything that I said earlier on, and I'm saying UAPlayer are the favourites. They've chalked off a minute from the time already. Bit of spy on spy action there as Boshi takes down Imber with the backstab. And wow, Crime walking forward there and getting a fair bit of damage down, taking down Astro, but the crits does come out onto Griba the Heavy behind there running the crit streak, and that does wipe up a few players on the point. And I do think that Kitty are going to be able to capture this point now, as they're cleaning up a few players like Claw there on the scout. He's just kind of pressuring Marisa there, just saying, no, okay, you've captured the point, you can just back off now, we're going to recapture this, going to scare you away. And Kitty, yeah, have to back off. They just have no presence. Although Aina does get a nice snipe onto Poker, so then maybe that's going to buy them a little bit more time.
Yeah, not having a heavy on the midpoint is very crucial for the enemy team to push. I mean, this is a huge health pool that you need to whittle down eventually, and obviously having the heavy so close to the bottom is very important. And speaking of, Lighthaw just taking down DQZ, very important pick there. No medic for the blue team here. UAPlayer losing that advantage they had, and now Pahan with 100% crit ready to rock and roll behind the point. They're taking the defensive position, and very good decision as well, as they don't really need to be aggressive at the moment. They do have the advantage. They have all the players they need, and Aina is just right now hard scoping the flag, getting headshot by the spy. Imba is just shooting him with the ambassador. Christian goes out onto Crime, trying to get someone, takes Jesus down. Puts a few more sticks, didn't get anyone else, and DQZ is just safe and sound, almost back at spawn. 25% just healing up, is actually in the open right now. Moving onto the point, Poker goes down. That's one more time heavy taken by Aina. As they're moving onto the point, for some reason, Kitty is just giving this point almost for free. DQZ is on fire and a little bit of trouble. Boshi trying to get him down, shooting him twice, and DQZ is still low on health, losing it gradually, but looks like UA UAPlayer will be able to capture the point eventually, with a few people dead here, Pachan included, for kiti, bakenbardami, and unfortunately there for kiti, they didn't manage to secure the point for themselves, and now DQZ has 100% Uber charge against Pachan's crit streak, and that is very crucial for the medic to have that comfort.
Yeah, Pachan, they got backstabbed by Imba. They picked up a few frags there, UAPlayer, had control of the point, and then just, you know, followed up. It was really, really good of them. It's very tempting as a team to just control the point and then do nothing about it, but UAPlayer actually walked forward and picked up the frags on the retreat. So they actually able to buy a lot of time on the point here, but they have lost a few players. There's no Fuzzy up, Imba's not up. There's no Jesus, you know, Jesus is not protecting that point there. So it's very difficult, and Poker is pretty much the man to try and do it at the moment. He's going to have to stay alive. He is hiding behind this pillar. He gets sniped by Einar a few times actually. Oh, Boshi tries to go in and get something done, but he cannot do it. But actually the crits comes in. DQZ drops. Crime comes in through Lake, comes round from the back end. Pachan uses the crit straight onto Crime and gets the drop onto DQZ, and that does mean that Kitty here start capturing the point. They have the heals, they have the player advantage. And then just have to worry about a DM fest now. Marissa's starting to walk forward. Can he get some pressure down? No, he can't. And actually, it does look like UAPlayer are kind of pushing forward here and winning this fight, Jake.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. Kitty should have used that respawn wave that they had. You know, they have a slower respawns on the other side, UAPlayer, and weren't able to defend this point, but Kitty did not use this advantage that they had, and now they're struggling at saving this point. There's only Rez on the point with Pachan, eventually going down to Bugzer, and Jesus in tandem, working, capping, finishing the point, and the first point of this game goes to UAPlayer fairly convincingly with a minute and a half to spare, and that crit streak out of Pachan, out of nowhere seemingly, just completely could written off UAPlayer from testing the point for at least one more minute. Unfortunately, Kitty were not able to really do anything about it, but now we're moving to the second point. The teams are already fighting over it. UAPlayer very aggressive once again. Boshi trying to find some purchase in there. Didn't quite manage to do so. Astra is on top of his work. Poker is once again very aggressive behind the point. It looks like UAPlayer are currently holding in the bathhouse. Good strategy. Good strategy. Imba is trying to get the stab. Whiffs that one on Pachan, unfortunately. And Pachan still on that quick fix. 100% already. 80% on DQZ. And that's only Uber, but he gets stabbed by Imba. Imba taking a triple there. And completely uncontested the point by UAPlayer, by Kitty. UAPlayer once again able to get this point fairly easily, and that's all thanks to the spy play. Wow.
1 HP. 1 HP is all he had after that exchange. I was going to say, after that first round, Imba was top fragging in the server. He had the most points, more than anyone else in the server, including the medic. So he was obviously doing a lot of work. And I didn't even need to say it. He just showed it for himself, getting a huge triple frag, including a drop there. So Pachan is also very weak at the moment. Looks like Kitty are trying to take control of the lake house, but it doesn't really matter. Poker receiving most of that Uber there. Pachan is going to survive and escape through the tunnel entrance, but he's still running that quick fix, so he's going to have a charge, but it's not going to be super effective as DQZ is building up that Uber. He's at 25% already, so he's just going to be chilling, and that's actually an aggressive hold, and quick fix is not something you really want to have to, you know, use into an aggressive hold here. You do see Kitty trying to walk forward. They're not achieving much. They pick up a couple of players there actually. The soldier running that black box does pick up two, and UAPlayer have to back off here. DQZ is very weak, but does survive. Bugs. Oh no, Crime is going to jump in. Lands a sticky, but no, cannot get anything more as the medic is safely back towards the spawn with his Uber advantage. Kitty do get the point, but they've lost a minute and 10 seconds for it, and they're at an Uber disadvantage now, Jake. So I'm sure we're going to see UAPlayer just re-push this.
Yeah, DQZ managed to get out with his life, unfortunately or unfortunately for the team. Now 100% Uber is very crucial in the next push. Pachan's about to reach his quick fix, but quick fix versus an Uber is never a good exchange. As, they're currently getting close to the point. Poker, Bugzer, and help with Astra. They're going in. A nice headshot just in time as the conch has been popped by Aine. They're sitting on the point right now, uncontested, just taking some spam here and there, popping that Uber charge, very crucial. Quick fix has been popped back. Here the medic is in a lot of trouble right now. Pachan is losing health, but not fast enough. Astra just W plus M1 as he's trying to take down more people. Crime goes down eventually. A nice kill by Pagan Poker, just taking that consolation prize, but that's not enough as UAPlayer is currently holding the point fairly convincingly and moving in forward. Boshi is actually currently stalking, trying to find some purchase there as well. Looking at the medic, he knows where the team is, and look at this, how protected the medic is. He's gonna get a stab. DQZ whips the first stab. DQZ is not aware of that, and Boshi whiffing that. Thankfully, he's running with his life, but DQZ is a bit scared right now. He's looking all around, and I can see and sense the fear in that man. As currently, Kiti is trying to find a solution. Still in that quick fix, moving into the bathhouse. Slowly whittling down Bugzer. Moving in, that one down. Slowly moving as well. They have the quick fix up and ready. DQZ is about to hit his Uber charge. They know they have to stay a little bit forward. Low on health, DQZ, but managing to pop just in last moment. Pachen once again popping that quick fix, trying to heal up his team. Crime is going in. Couple of nice sticks. One catches on Marissa, but it's not enough to finish him off. Crime taking so much damage from Poker. Nice flank play by the Heavy, as currently UAPlayer is still in control of the point, and once again that quick fix is just not working for Kiti.
The problem is they're not using the quick fix in the correct way. Like, if you're running quick fix and you're using your charge at the same time as the enemy team uses their Uber, you're always going to be at a disadvantage because you're not invincible. They are. And unless you focus the right frags, then it's all going to go wrong for you. You need to use that advantage. Just take a look at Bahan. He is at a disadvantage. Even though he's running the quick fix, he is at a disadvantage to DQZ right now. So it's really not working. They need to get an exchange and then build up an advantage running the quick fix, and then use that to at least kill the medic during a fight. And that's not what they're doing. You see, they've captured the point. It's cost them 4 players to do it, though. They haven't got the medic. GQZ is walking forward with 100% Uber. He's ready to walk forward and just take a fight. Crime there gets headshot there by Fuzz, and that is a huge opening. 10 seconds in the respawn queue for him. Aina, though, does take down the enemy sniper, so he's on a 6 kill streak. Aina really pulling his weight here at the moment. Marissa trying to get some pressure onto Bahan. Does actually manage to force the quick fix out of Bahan, and the Uber is going to come in here. Poker once again is going to get most of it. That's the best class to fight against a quick fix, just because you can out damage the heal rate from that minigun. Aina on a 7 kill streak now takes down Ehor, and 4 players down for both teams, but it does look like UAPlayer are going to get the better of that, as they do have the better respawns, and UAPlayer just seem a lot more comfortable. They're winning these exchanges, and you know, the quick fix is an interesting choice. You just need to play around it a little bit more.
Yeah, I do agree, CeeJaey, there, and look at this once again. UAPlayer is just sitting on the point comfortably. Finally, Gribba and Crime, they need to get on point. They finally do. Quickfix is still up in play. Gribba's taking most of the health. Crime is about to die, but he's still alive on 8 HP, and that's enough to let him survive. Overtime already for UAPlayer. Only 1 minute to go for Kiti. Thankfully, they are at 100% Quickfix in the next team fight at least. DQZ needs to build up his, and if there's any time to use that now, it is, as they're moving onto the flank right now from the bathhouse, trying to heal up his team. Majority of the combos already there, taking so much spam. Here, the power almost dying. Thankfully, he's still alive. Thankfully, there's melee. Ploho is still protecting. But look at this. Marisa still again harassing the middle point. Very important. Putting that pressure. Poker going down to Aine. Quite a few exchanges here and there. Crime as well down for the defenders. And you have to always remember that team defending has much slower respawn. So that's very crucial when it comes to pushes and sacrificing players. Gribbo is so much low health. Pahan doesn't have his quick fix anymore. And Diki's about to hit his. Finske taking on Aine, allowing the team to move in much more forward. Raz going down as well. Poker down now. Griba, only 4 people up for the defenders. Kiti are losing players left and right. Here's Pachan going from the backside, trying to get an Uber saw. It's not enough. Astra taking care of that, actually. Ehor with the mini sentry, and that's a 2nd point going to the way of UAPlayer, and Kiti seemingly without any sort of response to what UAPlayer has to offer.
I mean, at the moment, for me, Poker is winning the Uber fights. Imber is getting frags in the back lines. For Kiti, the only player who's really going huge is Aina. I mean, he was on 10 kill streak there during that last round. But Fuzz there getting the first frag, taking down Crime. You lose your demo this early on in a King of the Hill map, especially in Highlander, you're going to be having a bad time. Bahan is not in a position he wants to be right now. He's going to try and get out here. He was kind of pressured, then gets headshot by Fuzzky. He is down, no heals for Kiti and co. And DQZ is going to have a huge Uber advantage. He's going to make his way over to the pool room and he's just going to chill there, and that's what he can do. He can chill. He's under no pressure from anybody. Jesus there is protecting him. We'll see if he can walk on water. Who knows? Maybe we'll see that a bit later on. A bit more Boshy, kind of trying to get into the game here. Did get a big pick later on. And he does take down Poker as well, so he's focusing the right frags. And maybe that's going to be an opening for Kitty to walk forward.
Yeah, DQC actually quite a low health. Lightclaw tried to get a few meat shots in, but he was well too protected. And there's an Uber pop very early just to make sure he survives. 6 HP is not enough, actually. Crime trying to get out, but Jesus taking care of that. They actually switched classes, I do believe. Now Jesus is 420 is on the Demo Man. Actually, no. Screw that. I was wrong here, because Poker is always playing a heavy, and he's just kind of always flanking. I've never seen him with the combo, to be honest. I mean, in terms of Kitty, Gruba is always hanging out around the medic. But in terms of UAPlayer, what their strategy is that they have Poker kind of roaming and using the Uber charges to kind of get a flank position. And it's worked out for them quite a lot of times already. 60% on DQZ, 65 on Pahan, equal Ubers. Right now, the advantage is on UAPlayer side, as they're currently behind the point. They're waiting for the enemy team to push and waiting to rotate. Most of Kitty team is in the bathhouse right now. The whole combo is just healing up, trying to Uber charge is up and ready. DQZ is 100% as well. There's about to be a clash any second now. There's very early pop coming out of pocket, trying to get many kills, but not getting any. Right now, Poker is being controlled by Plo, but it is not enough. The air blast against the bullets from an invincible man is not enough. Nice stab by Imba, using the distraction, taking down Boshy.
My God, I'm sorry. Just put the camera on Imba, and I'm gonna go make a cup of tea, and we could just this kid is just going ham right now. He's on a 9 kill streak. He's using his knife, he's using his ambassador. He's just killing, just killing. He's just a fragging machine. Like, he is. The thing is, UAPlayer in control of the point, and it's all up to Kitty to make the pressure, which is what they're doing. They're coming in from the right places. You can see now it's starting to work for them. But when you've got a spy constantly just picking off, again, he picks up Gruber on the point. That's heavy down. And then he's just fighting. Like, he's just stopped that cap by himself, just by killing the heavy and taking the attention away from everyone else. Like, Imba is the MVP right now. I think he might get finally taken down.
Boshy, look at him, he's stalking, he's about to get bumped. He gets the EQZ as he was just waiting for a good opportunity. Drops the Uber charge. Jesus going down as well to Griba, as now Boshy and Griba currently occupying the bathhouse, waiting for the team to reunite with them. Crime is low on health, but he just got reunited with Pahan as well. Only 4 people up for Kitty, but it might be just enough for to cap the point. Currently, most of the UAPlayer behind the point is Ihor, trying to put a few pot shots there. Ihor finally going down to Rez, as well as Sentry gonna go down. Imba, another kill on Crime. That is thanks to the ambassador. Like you said, he's just unstoppable on this map. He's such a smart player, using the advantage of his team, using the position, just taking it out everyone, and always making sure that the enemy team has a disadvantage going to every single team fight. Only 9 seconds to go for UAPlayer to control the point. 2.5 minutes to go for Kitty, and that already is looking dire after losing 2 points. Currently, Pahan is on 100%, DQZ on 60. If there's any time to push and use that advantage, it is now. Crime very aggressive, trying to chase up Astro. Very early Uber pop for no reason, seemingly. Trying to find something, but not quite enough. DQZ is very far away, and he's not actually going down somewhere on the back. Never mind. I'll rescind that, as DQZ has died, so it was okay to pop this Uber. However, Pahan only on 40% Uber chance. DQZ does build his Uber quite fast regardless. So right now, look at this. UAPlayer is moving on to the point.
Yeah, the thing is, that Uber fight wasn't great for them, but they're just walking forward anyway. And they've just destroyed the entire flank in a space of a couple of seconds. Lycor and Alone in Hell both go down there. There is a conch coming out here from Bugza. He's trying to take control and help his team. Washi goes down, so that's 3 picks. Crime is very weak. He might get picked off here if he's not careful. Ploho goes down as well. So, you know, that's the thing. UAPlayer just walking forward, taking frags. They force the Uber, and this is not a good position for Kitty right now. Grieber is alone on the point. Oh, a nice flash there from Pahan just to keep him alive. So Kitty should be able to recapture this point now. But they are so far behind in the time stakes. All UAPlayer need to do is do exactly what they just did, Jake. Get aggressive, win a fight, and they can count the point. And that's what they're doing now. They're just killing everybody. And they actually are, I'm not sure, I would say that's a little bit of a mistake. Just let them cap. But in the end, their DM has actually just meant that they can just finish off the point. They didn't even need to let the other team cap. Normally, you let the other team cap, so your spawns are faster, and then you just repush and win. But UAPlayer just said, hey, we're just going to DM and kill 6 players out of 9 and hold on to the point anyway. And they're just looking really strong, 3-0 so far. And Kitty just, I don't know, Aina and Boshi have been doing a lot of work for them. But I just feel that Imba is just killing everything behind enemy lines, and during the exchanges, Poker is just doing so much. I mean, Jesus420, whoever that is, if that's his real name, I'm not sure, but I haven't seen him involved in a lot of the Ubers. It's mostly Ubers onto Poker, and he is just kind of controlling and focusing the right things down, and we're already up straight away, Jake. We're straight into this second half. Remember, it is UGC, so we do have 2 halves. It is the first team to win 4 rounds. So, just one more round for UAPlayer, who are still in the blue, and Kitty in the red, needing 4 in a row to actually win this game.
Yeah, and that's actually quite difficult. Crime going down to Marissa. Nice few meat shots going into the demo man. Plo is finally chasing him off, and Lightclaw going down as well, so no scouts for either of the sides. And right now, once again, Kitty taking over the bathhouse, but so far it has not been proven successful, as UAPlayer is just simply taking the point almost for free. Raz is trying to put a few pot shots in the Poker, but he is a huge meat machine, and he's not gonna really go down really fast, as DQC is healing him. Nice stab there by Imba onto Angel 1. Plo and Griba also going down. That's 3 down for the red team. Kitty losing players left and right, and DQC is making sure his team is team 9 healthy. Pahan on 50 HP, but 100% overcharge, getting that health back finally. Aine trying to equalize with a nice headshot on Jesus, but you know, with no one to help him cap the point, this is not gonna be enough. 5 people up for a UAPlayer. That could be a good moment for Kitty to push her. Moving currently from the bathhouse, slowly but steadily making their way in through. Very early pop once again, trying to force out the enemy team. DQZ is just soloing the super onto Poker. A lot of flashing going on the other team, making sure the point is protected. Poker's trying to find some purchase, just putting a lot of damage, sacrificing himself to delay it as much as possible right now. Very low health, finally getting caught out by Crime. And currently Kitty is just using this mess, trying to get something done, but look at this. Once again, like every single round that has happened, UAPlayer is just simply moving people up front, just face tank everyone and secure the point for themselves, not even losing a single second off of it. Pahan quite in a lot of trouble getting, you know, Gerardied on. Finskate winning that sniper rifle against Aine. Crime going down as well, and Pahan finally finished off by Bugzer, giving DQZ a nice super advantage.
Yeah, you see, like, Kitty had the right idea. They went in through pool, they went in through the lake house area, waited until to use their Uber, but when they used their Uber, Pahan flashed 3 people into the Uber, and by the time he'd done that, then UAPlayer used theirs onto Poker. Oh. DQZ they're going down to a body shot from Aina, so that is going to be a small Uber advantage for Pahan as long as he stays alive. Goes down to 9 HP. He's being pressured by Bugzer, takes him down. Running the old conch black box combo, does take it down and equalizes that out, and it's just so fascinating to see that UAPlayer lose their medic, and then there's just this pure aggression from the flank. Marissa and Bugzer holding W, going forward and actually destroying half of the Kitty team, including the medic, and continuing to find themselves in an advantageous state. They've got 1 minute and 5 seconds left in this game, Jake, and they're going to take it 4-0 at this rate, and I can't see Kitty getting their way in here. Actually, they do pick up 4 players, so I'm going to eat my words and say Kitty are probably going to recapture this point now.
Yeah, it's Caster's curse, as they call it. Jesus on 45 HP, currently looking for his med. DQC finally reunited with him. Soldier, they're trying to find purchase on Hill 1. A few rockets, but all caught on an invisible wall. Unfortunate for him with that black box. Currently, Kitty finally securing this point. 80% Uber charge. All the people almost up, missing Boshi. DQZ on 80% as well, waiting for the enemy team to push. And finally, Kitty has decided to hold onto the point. They've always been favoring this bathhouse, never worked out for them so far. And look at this, they're losing Crumb to Marissa. Nice few meat shots going in there, but they equalize with Lightclaw taking on Jesus and Imba. Very good picks there. Currently trying to get a few more. Another kill onto Poker, and Marissa going down as well. DQZ is 100%, but no one to use it on, so he decides to kind of stay back with Astro. Slow this down. You know, they have time. They have all the rounds in the world to actually just you know, take this call. Don't be too aggressive. Don't be too overconfident. As Kitty Kitties are still in this. I mean, they're still in this. They still haven't lost yet. Jesus low health, fighting against Blowhole. Blow eventually gonna. Gruba is putting out a lot of damage. Once again, Kitty taking over the bathhouse, putting a few spam rockets inside the hole, and they're going in with the Uber charge. Bahan immediately Ubers. Good pop out of the defensive team here. Kitty trying to hold his bathhouse as well, but look at his middle point is currently being harassed by Imba, as Bugzer is currently waiting for a good moment to pick. Pahan is a low health. Jesus eventually going down once again. Kitty is still holding on the point, but they have players all over the wrong side, and looks like the server has been killed.
The server is ripped, and I'm gonna guess that 90 seconds into the future, UAPlayer won the game, and that is the end of our game. But it did look like, I mean, that push there, Jake, was exactly what we've been seeing from Kitty over and over. They have themselves in a decent position. They're in control of the point. They don't need to get aggressive. But then they kind of push out, and they try to suddenly go for some sort of forward hold. They push a couple of players forward, lose their demo, and then they're in an awful position for the repush coming in from UAPlayer. So UAPlayer looking extremely strong there. Like we said, kind of just above Kitty in the table, because on virtue of a better rounder difference after week 1, but after week 2, looking very, very strong indeed, and taking this without much hassle at all. They didn't seem troubled. There was never a moment, it looks like, where Kitty were going to win a round here, and that's kind of surprising to say. I mean, it does look like a lot of players have been traded between the two teams for the case of the UGC season, but I would say UAPlayer are going to be there or thereabouts when it comes to times for looking at the playoffs. So very, very interesting to see indeed.
Yeah, and I just wanted to drop a few words about the general strategy of UAPlayer, and something that maybe people who are watching could kind of learn from as well. I mean, this is basically what Highlander comes down to. If you are attacking and the enemy team controls the point, you have the faster respawns. So throwing bodies at the point, looking for important picks like the medic, the sniper, is usually just, a good trade overall, because you're going to be back in fight much faster than the enemy team, and you're going to be able to simply use that advantage and just go in. Also, obviously not having any breaks on that train, just keep going in, keep going forward, not be afraid to actually take any sort of fights. And obviously, that backed up with an amazing flank coming out of Marissa and Bugzer for UAPlayer. I mean, both players are quite seasoned. They've played Sixes, they've played Highlander for a very long, long time, years past. And, they are very, very seasoned and knowledgeable of the game, so they're a very difficult flank to take care of. Obviously, Imba, like you said before, just going absolutely mental in the first 3 rounds. A little bit stopped in the end. I mean, he wasn't getting as many frags as the team finally has learned how to deal with the spy, which is, simply turn around. But unfortunately for Kitty, a UAPlayer has gathered all 4 points on Lakeside quite convincingly, almost without any contention, and while getting themselves further in the season. But this is not yet over for our cast, Chris Cast. We just started with the UGC season. It's only week 2, and there will be more in the future, usually around 8 or 9 o'clock CEST, European Standard Time. Still daylight saving, just for the ones that don't know what that is. So definitely tune in every Monday with us here on Cast. I don't know, CeeJaey, have any last words?
Yeah, I'm just taking a quick look at the logs here, and we just have the first half logs, so 18 minutes, and there's a lot of players around the 15-14 kills mark, which that's nearly a kill a minute. But then you've got like the next level of players. Okay, you've got Imba, who got 26 kills in 18 minutes, went 26 for 9, so he only died once every couple of minutes as a spy on a King of the Hill map. I mean, okay, Lakeside is huge. It does lend itself to spies having a lot of space. But he did definitely go very huge. And when it comes to med picks, he picked up 3 med picks. That was more than anyone else in the server. And then just above him, we got Poker with 27 kills. Again, taking a lot of the heals, taking a lot of the Ubers. I mean, it's interesting to see that Poker got 29% of the heals, which, you could say is a standard amount for a heavy. To take a look at Pahan's stats, he healed his heavy for 31% and his demo for 38%. That's 69% of your heals. That's over 2/3 of your heals going on 2 players. That's pretty crazy. I mean, normally you're going to see a scout with a few thousand, your pyro, your soldier. Like, you want to get other players in the game. So there was a lot of resources pounded into the two combo players there for Kiti in comparison. But then the top fraggers, just one above Poker, both on 28, was Aina and Fuzzy. Both got 28. Fuzzy going 28 for 8, Aina 28 for 11. So slightly better KD. Aina did get a lot more damage. He actually top damaged on the server, 537 a minute, which is pretty beastly. But he did get less headshots than Fuzz. So interesting to see the stats. I mean, it does kind of paint a pretty positive picture for UAPlayer. They did get over 50 more frags than the enemy team. And of the top 6 players, 5 of them are from their team. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't really tell the story. It just seemed that the combo play from UAPlayer just seemed to be so much better. And the decisions they made with regards to when they wanted to push. But other than that, Jake, I mean, any shout outs before we disappear?
Well, just simply, when you're looking at us, very humble casters, you're CeeJaey, obviously, sitting right next to me in the casting booth. You have all info on the bottom of the screen. Obviously, Wiethoofd taking care of the production of Cast, and he's basically the man behind everything that's happening right now in terms of esports on Cast. He's a big man, so big shout outs to him for doing all that he's doing. He's a great man. So, if you have any sort of donations, obviously, he is quite busy with it. Yeah, Wiethoofd is just giving me a little shout on the side just to get him to Sweeland. He's really excited to go, so anything helps. And obviously, if you're willing to follow us on Twitters, as where mostly we post all the info on Cast new cast. Like I said, every Monday between 8 and 9 p.m. CEST, Central European Summer Saving Time. And yeah, that will be about it. I mean, kind of what it is. We're gonna be doing way more.